Hello, Lou Engle here, and starting tomorrow, December 1st through the 21st, we are calling for a season of Daniel fasting for the nation. You say, oh, another fast? Well, let me share a few dreams with you that we received early on. My friend Chris Berglund, a real prophet to me for 36 years, received these dreams in February. Let me go over them. In one dream, Chris was on a senior football team walking down a road at the beginning of a new season. Now, this is in February. I believe this is a dream literally for the whole year. In the dream, Chris was on the senior football team walking down a road at the beginning of a new season. All these younger kids, also dressed in football uniforms, were lining the street and cheering on the seniors as they came through. Then someone was handing out jerseys, and they gave Chris jersey 21. And then they said, "You're 21 this year." Let me join another dream prophetic word given to me by Jeremiah Johnson, that in the dream, the Lord had been speaking to me, of course, concerning the Nazarite long hairs. But the day would come in this year when God would be calling on not the Nazarite long hairs, but the gray hairs, who would actually save the nation and break forth against abortion. I believe the gray hairs is actually like Daniel in his 21-day fast, when he was literally 83 years old and he shifted a whole empire through a governmental legislation in the spirit over Cyrus, the king of Persia, and he broke principalities and powers. I believe God is saying the young generation is watching the seniors as they're leading the way into this fast, into this 21 days of fasting and prayer. You say, well, how do you know it's at this time, Lou? Let me go on. In the next dream, we were in the Arrowhead House of Prayer facing the Supreme Court. Now, 16 years ago, we went to D.C., bound for life, Justice House of Prayer, D.C. We found an arrowhead-shaped house of prayer building facing the Supreme Court building. We called it the Arrow of the Lord's Victory Against Abortion. And that's where we housed our community of about 70 young people praying for the ending of abortion. We were in this Arrowhead House of Prayer facing the Supreme Court, and Lou was saying, life, liberty, and we're going to pursue the justices. Chris knew it was the Supreme Court justices, but also more than that, like the multiple justice issues. Then Lou said, we need 2020 revelation like Daniel. We're going to go through the send. We're going to go through the elections. We're going to go through the end of the year like Daniel. I believe this dream, was a blueprint that this whole year would be a year of praying through even under the elections, even to the end of the year, and that God was calling us into this Arrowhead House of Prayer to call forth the judges. We believe this dream was a blueprint dream, actually, in which God was showing us that we were in a year of prayer starting in February, where in March 1st, we did 40 days of fasting, and it went all around the world, and I'll give you the next dream. But God was saying to us, you have to fight this battle, this Daniel calling for the shifting of government, for the sake of life, for the sake of Supreme Court justices. You had to fight it out through the end of the year. So this is a year-long blueprint, and I believe the final fast of this year is a Daniel 21-day fast. Even at this moment of the things that are taking place must be won in prayer. And then I want to give another dream again in February. Chris saw this dream. People all over the world were completing long water fasts, but not all. Many were doing liquids and various fasts. A man appears aged and full of wisdom and incredible light. He has a king's goblet filled to overflowing with water in it. Then he pours it out over this garden that looked barren and dry. But when the water was poured out, it produced all kinds of fruits and vegetables. And then he says something like this: take and eat, for the journey is not over, nor is the destination reached. He continued talking, saying, those who hear and see are invited to partake of this garden until the light shines and full deliverance comes. He turns to leave, and the man of great wisdom turns to leave, and Chris asks him, what is your name? And he says, God is my judge, and he is yours, and then disappears. Daniel's name means God is my judge. I believe this was the dream, that many all over the world were fasting on water. That happened in March through April 9th this year. Thousands around the world were doing water fasts that God had led us to call. It was spontaneous and it went viral. I believe God was saying, now he wants to pour out that water fast on the dry and barren land of America at this moment. And that God was, and the man that was pouring it out was a wise, seasoned like statesman. And his name is God is my judge. I believe Daniel appeared to him in the dream and said, you must pour out this water fast to produce a garden of fruit that you must then eat. And it is the Daniel fast of that at the end of the year could literally shift history. Therefore, starting December 1st, we're going through the elections, through the end of the year, first through the 21st of December, in this season before Christmas, when the baby is being born, Christ child, and Herod is ready to devour the child. We believe right now there is a governmental Herod taking place right now that wants to devour this issue of and carry forth the issue of child sacrifice from Vice President Biden's campaign that will legalize the shedding of innocent blood and funding the shedding of innocent blood to nations all over the world, and the reversal of President Trump's policies. It's all shifting right now. Not only that, I believe, as I just read yesterday, that Biden's policy will actually shift what the great things that have been going on in Israel. He will shift the policies of Trump. This is a major turnaround. We need a Daniel fast for Israel, for the unborn. Part of the vision we want to do is called 21 days to fast for the elections of the senators in Georgia. Literally, this election could literally change the whole tide of history. We must win 2 Senate seats for to sustain the control of the Senate. That if Biden becomes president, literally he would have the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and there's no end to the devastation that will take place. They'll pack the courts, stack the courts, and Amy Coney Barrett will be made in a minority again, and abortion will be fueled. And by the way, I'm starting to say it's not abortion, it's child sacrifice. We've been dialed down, dumbed down to the issue of the killing of unborn children. A nation cannot survive if it continues in this way. Therefore, we're praying for the Senate seats of Georgia. The march to Atlanta during the Civil War by General Sherman broke the back of slavery. It was a devastating march, but I believe once again, Georgia is being brought to a place, and maybe it could be God's march through Georgia to Atlanta that would literally save the babies. I believe it's the time of African American churches to rise up as abolitionists and declare, we will fight for the unborn. We will fight for the biblical foundations of thou shalt not kill. Literally, recently I saw that past President Obama basically was frustrated with the Latinos in America, the evangelical Latinos, because they didn't vote for race. They didn't vote concerning race. They voted for Trump because of the issue of life and marriage, which is stunning to me. In an interview with a Hispanic evangelical couple, she said, the wife said, stunning, she says, they don't understand us. We are first of all Christians, and then we are Hispanics. Our stand is thou shalt not kill. Literally, Georgia is the turning point once again, I believe, of the abolition of abortion as it was in the abolition of slavery. I believe that even yet God could open a door to the Supreme Court. That was the dream, that this Daniel fast would open the door for the justices and justice issues. I believe right now it's not over with. We need to pray that God would bring his case to court. The cases of Philadelphia, Wisconsin, Michigan, other states, Georgia, bring it to the Supreme Court and let the Supreme Court rule. But this will not happen unless we pray, God, bring your case to court, which could lead then to his case coming down the road, maybe even in 2 years, that Roe v. Wade could be reversed and national state-sanctioned murder would be removed from the books and give America a glimpse of mercy that could take place. God, end abortion, send revival. So join us. I will be going for 21 days, mostly 21 days, in what I'm calling a litany of life, where I am going to lay out my abolition vision and declare it. And I want you to join me. So December 1st through December 21st, starting tomorrow, let's move into that historic Daniel fast for justice.